别开玩笑了，少林功夫完全就是三脚猫功夫，根本上不了台面。只要少林寺敢接受我的挑战，我会一脚踢爆武僧的狗头。如果我输了，我将捐出全部的资产剃发为僧，绝不食言。
我操！KO！
注意看，少林武僧苦练20年铁头功，被老外一脚爆头，竟毫发无伤。起身后，眼神突变，狂砸数百拳，将对手彻底打废，血肉模糊的样子，就连亲妈来了都不认识。究竟发生了什么，竟让中国小伙如此暴怒的想要将老外置于死地？只因美国狂人赛前嚣张放话，声称少林功夫都是花拳绣腿，根本上不了台面。而为了验证自己的猜想，更是指名挑战少林高僧，扬言要摧毁他的铁头功。此人就是来自美国的地下拳王巴利特。由于擂台打法过于凶残，往往将对手置于死地，便被美国赛事方终身除名。而为了维持生计，无奈的巴利特只能选择参加危险系数极高的地下赛场。没想到这一打不仅奠定他的拳王身份，还因为拳脚犀利达到了令人谈虎色变的程度。但随着中国功夫和少林武术在国际擂台上大放异彩，这让美国官方有了不小的危机感，只能花费8000万高额出场费请巴利特出山，从而彻底打压逐渐崛起的中国拳坛。所以肩负重任的巴利特也当即立下了军令状，发誓一定会圆满完成任务。而如果他输了比赛，那将捐出全部资产剃发为僧。只能说他这心眼子实在是太明显了，赢了名利双收，输了就顺水推舟的加入少林寺，从而偷学少林武功。就在少林寺不知道派谁上台时，年仅25岁的谢文斌主动请缨申请作战。别看小伙非常年轻，但他不仅与谢为同处师门，还有着异于常人的拳脚功夫。在国际擂台上东征西讨的他，也是仅用2年的时间就打出了自己的一番天地。最重要的是，谢文斌还20年如一日苦练铁头功，终于达到了金刚不坏的地步。而他由于后背满是纹身，因此也被称为是擂台上最强的花和尚。强悍的实力再加上不坏的身躯，这让谢文斌几乎是无敌般的存在。所以对他来说，暴揍一个小小的美国拳王应该不是太大的问题。话就不多说了，让我们来看一下中国选手在擂台上的精彩表现。红黑拳套是中国小伙谢文斌，蓝黑拳套则是美国拳王巴利特。我们可以明显看出来，巴利特的肌肉线条更加流畅。就从他这身高体型来看，不愧是能在地下拳场称王的人。此时面对中国小伙，他表现得非常强硬，在步伐向前压制的同时，还不断用各种拳脚组合进行试探。征战擂台多年的他，可以说是完全没有将中国选手放在眼里。同时，这场比赛对于谢文斌来说，也是一个不小的挑战。对手毕竟是地下拳王，那所打出的每一招可能都有着致命的伤害。如果一旦战败，那将让自己付出身体以及生命威胁。然而即使这样，谢文斌却依然登上擂台，只为证明中国实力。
Dinner out there as he's confident. Muhammad needs to get back to the post. He is rattled. He got some early shots as Ando is hooking. Nice clean shots landed by Ando. Muhammad needs to get back to his rhythm.
A nice job by Muhammad to get right back to his feet. One of the ways he wanted to deter the takedowns of Ando was with the knees. Watch for him to throw that knee right up the middle.It's
hard to throw that knee when you get.
要知道，美国赛事方当时为了请他出山，不仅拿出了高额出场费，甚至还答应帮他恢复名誉。结果3次全部都遭到了巴利特的严厉拒绝。最终在得知对手是一个来自中国的少林武僧之后，巴利特才终于决定登上擂台。只因在他心中，中国功夫和中国选手都是没有实力的三脚猫，根本就不配站在美国的格斗擂台上。然而，即使危机重重，谢文斌也完全没有丝毫退缩。他不仅要用这场比赛证明自己的实力，更要让全世界的人都看到少林武功的真正威力。
Deceptively long, right? But that's a nice right hand by Bucky. Oh! Let's get that. Rocks him. Bucky going in for the kill.
Moni tried to walk off, but Ando was quickly able to recompose and get right back to his feet. I don't know how he bounced back up after that one.Ali Muhammad needs to go to work on those legs, slow down that explosive movement. That right there, that shot in right there. Looks like he's jousting the way he rushes forward with that shot. Oh.
对于巴利特来说，站在眼前的不是一个人类，而是一个怪物。毕竟刚刚那爆头一脚就是冲着踢爆头颅而来的。但谢文斌没有受到丝毫影响就算了，居然还能在继续比赛的同时加强进攻攻势。看到这里，可能有些人会好奇，为什么不派武僧一龙上台？毕竟一龙也是有着金钟罩铁布衫加持的少林高僧，实在是因为一龙的睡眠质量太好，怕他还没有来得及施展独门绝技，就当场睡着了。 更何况这种比赛危险就算了，还没有太高的出场费，一龙不跑就算了，怎么还敢要求上台？
And Oli Muhammad predicted he would get a head kick KO. That prediction almost came true. I have to stop calling him Modi and start calling him Nostradamus if he connects with another one of those.
He's a left hook again, right? The second and the third shot, but Muhammad catches Ando as he pulls his head back.
Ando needs to be careful. When he enters the pocket, his hands come down. They don't come back up as he dives underneath the legs. He's trying to secure that single, but there's that improved wrestling. Oli Muhammad, good frame.
在征战擂台多年的拳坛老将，面对谢文斌还是太稚嫩了。毕竟对手打过的比赛可能是他的5倍之多，在擂台经验和对细节的处理能力方面，两人根本就不是一个级别的。而貌似谢文斌在防守上出现了很大的漏洞，可能稍微一个疏忽就会吃到对手狂风暴雨般的重拳轰炸。不过好在他的抗击打能力不错，因为并没有受到太大的影响。更何况巴利特赛前的嚣张发言已经将他彻底激怒了，能把佛珠纹到胸前，那足以看得出来他对信仰的重视。但巴利特不尊重就算了，居然还敢出言嘲讽。既然这样，那谢文斌绝对不会手下留情。
Hey, too heavy because that guarding style really works when the opponents are standing heavy. Ando and Moti missed. What a first round we have so far.
Yeah, on the tail of the tape, it only said that Moti had 1-inch height advantage, but he looks to have a considerable height advantage. The reach, not so much, but definitely with the height. I like seeing him put out that jab, keep utilizing that jab to set up those kicks. This is a huge opportunity for both these guys. Make a name for themselves, and they are doing.
巴利特全程不是在进攻，就是在进攻的路上。但无论施展什么样的动作与招式，都无法重创对手。要知道，他赛前可是扬言输了比赛就将全部资产都捐给少林寺，而他这几年的刀尖舔血赚的没有上千万，也得有上百万。所以对于他来说，这场比赛只能有一个结局，那就是必须要赢。此时逐渐进入了比赛状态的谢文斌，也慢慢的加强了进攻攻势，不是一味的后退防守，而是在防守的同时打出精准的主动进攻和防守反击。
In the first 5, let's see what adjustments these make here in the second round. I like the feints coming early from Modi.
I like that low kick, which every time he throws it, seems to wobble, take away the pace of Ando. Now Ando a little bit more heavy as well on the feet. Nice one going to the head. Yo!
首回合虽然两人打得非常激烈，但在点数上其实并没有太大的差距。但谢文斌却根本就没有以点数结束比赛的打算。此时占据着上身位的他，更是火力全开，拿着重拳疯狂暴揍对手。反观被压在身下的巴利特，可能连简单的防守都很难施展出来。这精彩程度，就连一旁的裁判也不敢轻易上前。毕竟拳头可没有长眼，万一谢文斌生气了，连自己都打怎么办？不得不说，中国小伙这场比赛打得实在是太精彩了。谁也想不到，一个年轻的少林高僧居然会在擂台上爆发出如此大的威力。最终，谢文斌成功在第2回合 KO 对手，拿下了比赛的胜利。以上就是本期视频的全部内容。大家觉得中国小伙谢文斌本场比赛的表现如何？欢迎在评论区留言讨论。